Thank you.
We didn't appropriate enough money.
We've had several meetings today, and several questions have come up repeatedly. I want to try and cover some of those kind of in anticipation of what you might be wanting to ask. So, will there be public access on this new National Wildlife Refuge? Emphatically, yes. We're concerned with those big six opportunities. Hunting and fishing certainly rank highest on that list. What about vehicle and boating access? Regarding boating access, including airboat access, that is going to remain the same. Those areas where you have access to state sovereign waters, part of the navigable waters, that's not going to change with this program, this proposal. As far as vehicles are concerned, typically in national wildlife refuges, we've got this national network of plans that typically do not allow off-road vehicles. It's only street legal vehicles that we allow on our refuges. We'll both be allowed on conservation easement lands. That's up to the landowner. We do not buy those or have access rights encumbered on that property. So if the landowner wants to allow public access, that's their project. That's up to them. Will easements eliminate recreational activities? No. Typically, the only easements we're looking at are development rights. What we don't want to see on the landscape is the development of commercial properties or gated communities, things like that. We want to see the landscape look pretty much like it does now. So we're not interested in controlling access or use or anything like that. It's only for the development rights we're looking for.
Bullshit!
What type of easement is the service interested in? As I just mentioned, it's mostly primarily for development rights. Okay, so this is just a description of the types of easements that we might be interested in, and along with the development rights, there might be some wetland restoration activity or some grazing programs we might want to talk. And again, what I haven't mentioned so far is that this is a willing seller program only, both for fee title and conservation easement less than fee title programs. If you're not interested in participating, you don't have to. It's a willing seller only program. So as you can see, for the recreational activities, the hunting, fishing, public access on conservation lands, the conservation easements, we have no interest and there's going to be no restrictions. It's only for the development rights. On refuges, it's a little bit different. There we buy fee title lands. We're the owner and manager of that land. We have control and access for most of the activities that occur on those lands. So for things like hunting and fishing, yes, we have authority. Is it going to be appropriate to allow to occur on this landscape? Yes, on refuge lands, we anticipate that's going to be the case. In the case of airboats and boating activity, do we have the authority? No. On state waters, the state owned and managed waters, that stays with the state. We're not going to have anything to do with that. The other ones that we have authority over that we, at this point, are considering, but currently, because we're a national wildlife system, we typically don't allow is for off-road vehicle use and horses. But because we're talking about a landscape that is driven by the ranching community, the use of horses on the refuge portion is something that we're certainly considering. Will federal ownership affect adjoining landowners? No. There are many instances throughout the refuge system that we can point to that have lands that are embedded within the refuge boundary that we have no control or authority or management or access or anything over those lands. Will the service acquire lands through eminent domain? In fact, no. The service will not use any adverse action to take lands from landowners. And we're currently working on incorporating language into our plan that we're in the process of developing with your input that will address the specific concern. Will this project take over management of other agency lands? No. The lands that are being managed by South Florida or the state, those are lands that they're going to continue to maintain and manage. We're not going to have any management control or authority over them. Will the service allow hunting access? Most emphatically, yes. We're built on a tradition of hunting on national wildlife refuges, and we anticipate that's going to be fully part of this program. We're also in discussions with the state as far as co-managing or having significant input by the state into the hunting programs on the proposed refuge. service allow airboat access? Yes. Again, on those state waters, airboat access is going to be just as it is now. So in summary, what we're proposing is just a proposal. There's nothing set in stone. We're taking your comments and trying to build a proposal from that. We're listening to you and attempting to address your concerns. So anything you can do to provide us with specific comments or questions is extremely helpful. Sometime early this summer, probably in June, you're going to see a draft plan. And all of the things that I talked about will be more greatly articulated. There'll be some specifics about specific properties that we have an interest in acquiring. And we'll also outline the activities that we anticipate that will be part of this refuge program. And that is it. I'll turn it back over to Sherry.